All praises to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and peace to everyone joining me on this program. This is the founder of Israel's Bible Studies program, and as always, it's an honor for me to stand before you on the Lord's holy Sabbath day. Now, with that being said, I want to first invite all of you to like, share, subscribe. Please smash that notification bell and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Check the description box down below. And if you are being edified, feel free to donate if you will. Now, with that being said, we're going to jump right into the lesson. Now, this particular lesson is the power of prayer, right? It is the power of prayer, or prayers of the saints. And I want you guys to, pay attention to some of this, because a lot of times we think, that prayers are not being answered, and sometimes they are being answered. Sometimes we don't know how to go about it. Sometimes we don't have the right disposition. Sometimes we don't have the right attitude or mindset. It's just certain things, we gotta be in the right place. Okay. We gotta be in the right mindset, things like that. Sometimes we ask amiss, right? Sometimes, and when that happens, then no, Most High may not be answering our prayer. Sometimes the answer is yes. Sometimes the answer is no. Sometimes the answer is wait. And we just have to have the discernment to know the difference, right? So we're going to go ahead and jump into it, and I will be reading from the scriptures version of the Bible, and we're going to go ahead and jump right into this. Go ahead and grab my spectacles there, and we're going to start at Proverbs, or Mishlei. Okay, we're going to start at Proverbs or Mishlei 28 and 9, right? I think this is a great place to stop right here, right? Proverbs 28 and verse 9, or Mishlei verse 28 and 9. And it says, "He who turns away his ear from hearing the Torah, even his prayer is an abomination." Let me stop you right there, cowboy. See, that right there disqualifies a whole lot of prayers. Okay, can I get right out the gate? Can I get a 100 in that? Can I get a 100 down in the chat? Okay, in the comment section, right there. In that spot right there, you got way too many people who don't want to hear nothing about Torah, don't want to have anything to do with it, says it's done away with. So tell me something. If the scriptures, right? Okay, we're right. We're in the Proverbs right here. Okay, this is part of scriptures. If the scriptures are saying that if you don't want to hear instruction, your prayers are abominable. He don't want to hear you. Okay, the Most High, or Messiah, don't want to hear you. Don't hear nothing you have to say. Okay, so you tell me this. For those who say you don't have to do anything, you have no responsibility, you don't have to do good works, the good works of the Torah. You don't have to do any of this stuff. Do what you want. How exactly are your prayers going to be answered? You answer me that. But just put it in the comment section down below. Just tell me exactly how your prayers are going to be answered if you don't want to have any type of instruction. Okay, the Torah is your instruction. The Torah is covenant. Okay, the Torah, is his standard. Okay, the Torah is holy, just, and good. It's how you become holy. It's how you become righteous. It's how you are a saint. So if you don't want to have anything to do with that, how exactly are your prayers supposed to get answered? Wow. While you guys look at that, please put that down below. While you do that, we're going to go ahead and move on. Let's go to James or Yaakov, right? Okay, we're going to go to James, and let's go to chapter 4. Chapter 4. Okay, and I'm going to read the first 5 verses. James says, "Where do fightings and strivings come from among you? Do they not come from your pleasures that battle in your members? You desire and you do not have. You murder and are jealous and are unable to obtain. You strive and fight and you do not possess because you do not ask. You ask and do not receive because you ask evilly in order to spend it on your own pleasures. Adulterers and adulteresses, do you not know that friendship with the world is enmity with Elohim? Whoever therefore intends to be friends of the world makes himself an enemy of Elohim. Verse 5. Or do you think that the scriptures speak to no purpose? Does the spirit which dwells in us intensely crave unto envy? One of the key takeaways is because sometimes when we're asking, now we can take this whole thing, but I just want to zero in. I want to, pay particular attention when he says, you ask and you do not receive because you ask evilly in order to spend it on your pleasures. If we hearken back to the prayer that Shlomo or Solomon said, he was talking about, give me wisdom. How can I lead these people and stuff like that, right? He was asking for something so that it can benefit his people. And the Most High went ahead and gave him the riches and everything. And he even said, well, because you didn't ask for money and long life, you wasn't selfish. Since you didn't do that, okay, yeah, I'm going to give you what you asked for, which is wisdom, okay, and how to lead these people. And then I'm also going to give you the other stuff. All these other things are going to be added unto you. You see? Look what you ask and do not receive because you ask evilly in order to spend it on your pleasures, on you. It's all about you. It's all about you. See, when we figure out how to not be selfish, when we figure that out, more prayers may be answered in your favor. See, that's the kind of stuff that we got to understand. That's what we got to get to. Let's go to Yohanan or John 17. Let's go do that. Are you guys following me so far? Are you with me so far? Okay, let's go to John real quick. Okay, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. And going to be John 17. Yohanan 17. All right, we're at 17 and we're going to do 8 and 9. 8 says this: because the words which you gave to me, I've given to them, and they have received them and have truly known that I came forth from you, and they believe that you sent me. This is Messiah talking about the Most High, right? I pray for them. I do not pray for the world, but for those whom you have given me, for they are yours. Look at the many times that the Messiah prayed. Did he pray for himself? Did he pray about himself? Did he heap all this me? See, I want to set the stage first. I want to deal with this part first, right? Because if you want to actually be able to get some prayers answered, you want to know why they're being blocked, okay? Because you got to realize that you can't be the center of the universe. Okay? It cannot always be all about you. For example, if I pray for great wealth, right? It's not just for me, can't take it with me, right? But I pray for it for my progeny so that I can leave a legacy, so that I can leave an inheritance. It's not about me. An inheritance is not for me. What I'm building is not an inheritance. What I'm building is an inheritance for those behind me, for my family, right? So it's not about me, right? Oh, Most High, let me get tens of millions of dollars so I can put my feet up. Not a good prayer. You see, you see the difference? I pray for good health or whatever. Why? Because I need to work. I need to protect. I need to produce. I need to do something for my family and do something for the work of the Most High. Meaning the buck doesn't stop with me. Right? So I'm only using myself as an example, but you put yourself in that place and you say, okay, are my prayers self-centered? Are my prayers, is it giving narcissism? I'm just saying. I'm just saying, to use modern day vernacular. They love to throw that around. But is it all about you? Right? No, you may be in trouble. You might be in some trouble and you want to get yourself, you want the Most High to help you get yourself out of trouble. I get that. I get that. Okay? I understand. I get that. But generally, how are your prayers? Who are they for? I mean, even if they are for you, is that the end result every time? Is that most of your prayers? How do you position yourself in these prayers? And all I'm doing is not, Maury Reed, Brother Robert. No. We're going to we're going to look at it from the scriptures. Okay? We're just looking at it from the scriptures, right? So we're in John, and we're going to go to John again, but we're going to go to 1 John. Okay? So, Yohanan Aleph. And I'm going to chapter 5. Yohanan Aleph, chapter 5, and we are going to do 14 and 15. And he says this, and this is the boldness that we have in him, that if we ask whatever according to his desire, he hears us. And if we know that he hears us, whatever we ask, we know that we have the petitions that we have asked of him, meaning we are going to receive it, just as long as it lines up with what the Most High wants for you. And you just got to understand what he wants for you. I used a family example earlier because he wants me to take care of my family. He wants me to leave, a good man, righteous man leaves an inheritance for his children's children, right? So if I'm doing it in alignment with what he's saying, you guys starting to understand? If I'm asking for something in alignment for what he wants, then yes, he'll give it to you. All it has to do is be in alignment. And of course, you have to have faith, because without faith, you guys know the rest, right? Okay? So one, you have to have the right mindset. Okay? That's first. Well, actually, one, you have to be okay with Torah. So, let's just start with where we started when we opened up. So you got to be okay with Torah. Okay? You got to be doing your best to try to adhere to that, for one. Okay, two, you got to have the right mindset. Okay? Let's be honest with it. Okay? Let's not be selfish, and let's be in alignment with what he wants in our life. A lot of times that no to your prayer is because that's really not what he wants for your life. Okay? So we're going to continue. We're going to keep it going. We are in 1 John. Where am I here? 1 John, I did 5. Did I go too far? Okay, no problem. All right, so I'm going to back up a little bit. 1 John 3 and 22. So no problem. I skipped one, but that's okay. I'm already in 1 John. So 3 and 22. Let's see. We got 22. What does it say? It says, and whatever we ask, we receive from him. Because what? We guard his commandments and do what is pleasing in his sight. Does that not go with Proverbs 28 and 9? Does it not go with that? He that turns his ear from hearing the Torah, even his prayers are abomination. Proverbs 28 and 9, right? Now, we're over here in 1 John or Yohanan Aleph. And in 22, it says, and whatever we ask, we receive from him, because we guard his commands and do what is pleasing in his sight. Hallelujah. Praise Yah. Praise Yah. Right? You see, you got to be in alignment, brothers and sisters. Okay, am I saying something to somebody? Something. Comment down below. Did something just happen? Did something click? Okay? So we have that, okay? So we did that in 1 John 3:22. It all supposed to go together, right? So let's go to Hebrew. Right? Let's go to Hebrew or Hebrews, which would be chapter 11, verse 6. Verse 6. It says, but without belief, it is impossible to please him. Right? But without, let's see here. But without belief, or it will say in faith in the King James, without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he who comes to Elohim has to believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of those who earnestly seek him. Are we starting to break this down and starting to kind of sink in here? This is what I'm talking about. what do we got to do? We got to be okay with Torah. We got to believe what we just read, okay? We got to ask what's in alignment with what's pleasing in his sight and what he wants for our life. This is how powerful prayer can be. If you get all your ducks in a row, you get yourself in right standing, right mindset, right attitude, you can get the right outcome. Right? We're just reading what it says here. Okay? We're not reinventing the wheel or anything. We're looking at the guidelines that we have right here, right now. This prayer can be very, very powerful, but it doesn't work when we just want to just be emotional and we just, it's not just praying over our food. I do that too, but it's not just that, okay? We got to be aligned in our lives. I didn't say we got to be perfect. I said we got to be aligned. There's a difference. We got to be aligned. Our faith aligned. Praying to the Most High through the Mashiach. Having the faith, obeying and adhering to Torah as best as we humanly cleaving unto the Torah, okay? And there's more. There's some more things. These are some more tips, some more tidbits right out of the scriptures, okay? So that you can get your prayers answered. Now, some of you guys, as a witness, some of you guys have had some miraculous prayers answered, amen, right? Some of you're like, there was no other way. It had to be the prayers. There's no other way. So some of you guys are witnesses that it actually works. Okay? It works. But I'm just trying to explain that when there's a breakdown, you need to go back to the drawing board. You need to go ahead and pop the hood, look under the hood of yourself, of you, and see what's going on. Right? We got to see what is going on. So now we're going to go on over to Matthew. And we're going to go to verse 17. Yeah, we're going to go to verse 17. Chapter 17. I'm sorry, not verse 17. Chapter 17. Okay, 17. And we're going to do 14 to 21 with Matthew. Okay. All right. 14. And when they came to the crowd, a man came up to him, kneeling down to him and saying, Master, have compassion on my son, for he is an epileptic and suffers badly, for he often falls into the fire and often into the waters. And I brought him to your taught ones, but they were unable to heal him. And Yeshua answering said, O generation, unbelieving and perverted, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I put up with you? Bring him here to me. And Yeshua rebuked the demon, and he came out of him, and the child was healed from that hour. Then the taught ones came to Yeshua by himself and said, Why were we unable to cast him out? So they asked the question, right? And Yeshua said unto him, Because of your unbelief. For truly I say to you, if you have belief as a mustard seed, you shall say to this mountain, Move from here to there, and it shall move. And no matter shall be impossible for you. But this kind does not go out except through prayer and fasting. See, this doesn't happen except it is through prayer and fasting. Very, very powerful. You incorporate some fasting with your prayer. That's like, like Fast and Furious hitting the nitro. You add a little fasting to your prayer. Now you get a little something. Now, do you have to fast every time? No, you don't. But if you add a little fasting to your prayer, you just a little extra on it, okay? Put a little extra on it. Focused. Intent. I have a lesson talking about prayer and fasting. Okay? So check that lesson out. But he said this is the kind of stuff that happens through prayer and fasting. Your faith increases. Knowing that he is your supply. He is our sufficiency. He's the only reason why we're able to do anything. We have to understand that. Give us our living, give us our breath, our being, who we are, how we move, everything. It's up to us to pay homage. Think about it. The one who sustains us, we pay no homage, and yet we turn around and we ask for something. Pay him no mind all week. Don't say anything, nothing. As soon as we need something or when we're in trouble, we're praying. Part of that asking is relationship. I'll give you an example. You have a friend or a family member you haven't heard from months, years, but they call out of nowhere. A little bit of idle chit chat, and then they drop the bomb that they need something from you. How does that make you feel? Yeah. I'm gonna sit that right there, and then we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. Let's go to Yaakov, James 5. James chapter 5. Okay, when we get to James 5, I want 13 through 16. Is any of you suffering evil? Let him pray. Is anyone in good spirits? Let him sing psalms. Is anyone among you sick? Let him call for the elders of the assembly and let them pray over him, having anointed him with oil in the name of the master. And the prayer of the belief shall save the sick, and the master shall raise him up. And if he has committed sins, he shall be forgiven. 16. Confess your trespasses to one another and pray for one another so that you are healed. The earnest prayer of a righteous one accomplishes much. Now, do you believe it or not? Do you believe this or not? Because it works. Prayer works. Prayer works. That's not the question. Prayer works. Do you work? That's the question. Do you work? Are you praying and not believing? Are you praying and you disregarding a relationship with the Most High and the Mashiach? Are you closed off to the Ruach HaKodesh? Do you not want to hear the Torah? Are you asking amiss? Are you asking evilly? Are you asking for your own selfish pleasures? So my question is, do you see how we can be doing this wrong? You see how it's possible? Just tell me down below, is it possible that we could be doing it wrong, right? That we always can't just blame the Most High because we're not getting what we want. That there's a lot of little steps that could be skipped right now. Let us continue, brothers and sisters. Let us continue. We're going to go on back to Yirmiyahu or Jeremiah. And I'm going to go to 29. Okay. Yirmiyahu or Jeremiah 29. And I'm going to read 4 through 7. And thus says Yah of hosts, Elohim of Israel, to all the exiles whom I exile from Jerusalem to Babel. Build houses and dwell in them. Plant gardens and eat their fruit. Take wives and bring forth sons and daughters. And take wives to your sons and give your daughters to husbands. And let them bear sons and daughters and be increased there and not diminished. And seek the peace of the city where I have exiled you. Are we here, guys? And pray to Yah for it, for in its peace you have peace. If there is peace where you are exiles, we're out here in the West, pray for it. Because some people are going to be here, right? Some people will be right here, in the West. And since we're here, pray for it. Because the level of peace that it can achieve is the level of peace that we will receive from the Most High. Now, I know it's crazy out there. I know. But if we are righteous and we are fervent in our prayer and we are fervent in our relationship, as it gets darker and darker out here in this world, as we can see the obtenebration is palpable. That is the darkening. It is palpable. We can see how it is changing. We can see it. We can see the love of many waxing cold. We can see it. We see it on social media. We see it out in the streets when we go out there. We see all of this, brothers and sisters. That's why our prayer needs to increase. And the reason why is because even in the fallen world, that the Most High, He can build a cocoon around you and your family. But it's going to take righteousness. It's going to take faith. It's going to take prayer that He can build this cocoon around you and protect you. Has his arm short? That He cannot save? He can. But whom shall He find so doing? Who is calling out to Him? Let's continue, brothers and sisters. Let's go back to Matthew. Chapter 5. When we get to chapter 5, we're going to read 43 to 48. And it says, "You heard that it was said, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemies and bless those cursing you. Do good to those hating you and pray for those insulting you and persecuting you, so that you become sons of your Father in the heavens." Why? Because that's exactly what people are doing to the Messiah and the Most High. Same thing, right? Rains on the righteous and the wicked, right? And we always wonder, well, why does good things happen to evil? Okay, let's continue. 45. "So that you become sons of your Father in heaven, because He makes His sun rise on the wicked and on the good, and sends rain on the righteous and on the unrighteous." Amen. "For if you love those loving you, what reward have you? Are the tax collectors not doing the same too? And if you greet your brothers only, what do you do more than others? Are there tax collectors not doing so too? Therefore, be perfect, as your Father in the heavens is perfect." Because, He has loved people who are undeserving of love. He loved you before you wised up, right? He loved you before you turned to Him. He loved you before you turned to Torah. He loved you when you were wicked, right? And then you turned. So perhaps some of the people who we know that are gone astray, not doing that which pleases the Most High, the Mashiach, perhaps they will turn around like you and I and try to walk in righteousness if we pray for them. Because nobody knew our turning point when it came. And we don't know theirs. Does it make sense? We'll see. And besides, He said, "Therefore be perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect." Be perfect. Be mature. This is your opportunity. This is a chance. Little tidbits. And you can get some prayers answered. Let's continue. We're going to go to Luke And I'm going to Luke chapter 23, actually. Luke chapter 23. Okay. Luke 23, and we're going to read 33 and 34. 33 says this. And two others also, evildoers, were led with him to be put to death. And when they had come to the place called Golgotha, they impaled him there, and the evildoers, one on the right and the other on the left. And Yeshua said, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do. And they divided his garments and cast lots. Okay. Dealing with the enemies, dealing with those who persecute you, love your enemies and all that, right? Now this is right after the people who, putting him to death. And he's still praying for his enemies. He's an innocent person. The Mashiach is still praying for his enemies. See what kind of makes part of his perfection? Part of his perfection. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand that'd be very difficult for many of us, right? I get it. I get it. I couldn't be persecuted and, going to the courthouse. Somebody's persecuting me, and I'm innocent. It's gonna be real hard for me to pray for them. Real hard for me to, forgive them. I can't be going to jail, sitting in jail, and I'm innocent. Somebody, false accuse me or whatever, and be real hard. But it still doesn't change what it says. It's difficult, but it doesn't change what it says. You see why the Most High, the Mashiach, he can get some prayers answered? Yes, he is the only begotten, okay? He is the only begotten. But is he not leading by example? Let's look at it that way. Is he not leading by example? Meaning it's something that we could do if we ascend spiritually. You see how he can get, you saw what he said to his taught ones. You saw what he said to the disciples. By the faith of a mustard seed. You can do, you guys get this, right? So he's giving us an example of if you just would simply ... Okay, let's continue. Okay, so let's go. We can go Old Testament. We're gonna go to Job. Let's go to Job, Eyob, or Job 42. Go to Job 42. And when we get to Job 42, we're going to start at verse 7 and we will finish up at 10. So Job 42, verse 7, and it says, And it came to be after Yah had spoken these words to Eyob, that Yah said to Eliphaz and Temanite, Eliphaz the Temanite, My wrath has burned against you and your two friends, for you have not spoken of me what is right, as did my servant Eyob. And now take 7 bulls and 7 rams and go to my servant Eyob and offer up an ascending offering for yourselves. And let my servant Eyob pray for you, for I accept him, lest I punish you. Because you have not spoken of me what is right, as did my servant Eyob. So Eliphaz the Tilamite, and Bildad the Shuhite, and Shofar the Neamathite went and did as Yah commanded them. And Yah accepted the face of Eyob. Okay. And verse 10. And Yah turned the captivity of Eyob, or Job, when he prayed for his friends, and Yah gave Eyob twice as much as he had before. Because Job was righteous, he can get a prayer through. Because obviously we know he was also patient, okay? But because Job was righteous, he can get a prayer through. Because Job was obedient, he can get his prayers answered. Because Job wasn't selfish or self-centered or narcissistic, he can get a prayer through. Yes, we know about the part of him started to question God or whatever. He started to hit his limits, and then he ratcheted right back down. He humbled himself. Okay? Just in case somebody bring that up. Okay? Overall, because we can go to all the prophets, all the disciples, nobody was without flaw. Okay, so let's just be mature. Let's just be adults. Okay, nobody was out with flaw. Everybody did a little something. Okay, some worse than others, but everyone did a little something. Okay, not talking about excluding the Messiah. Everybody else did something a little off. Okay, but they were still considered righteous. David was still considered righteous for the most part, and so was Solomon for the most part, and so was Abraham and Moses and Ezekiel and Jeremiah. Need not go on. They're not flawless. But see, Job is still, in matter of fact, okay, the Most High told them, Eliphaz and his two friends and all, hey, you get this stuff to make an offering, give it to Job, let Job pray for you, because I'll listen to him. I'm not even listening to you. Don't even talk to me. Just go over there. If he pray for you, then it's good. I'll accept him. All this smack that you were talking, saying misleading things, saying things outside of my character, basically you don't even know me. Job do. Job and I have a relationship. You don't know me. So talk to Job. He prays for you, and I'll spare you. Because I'll listen to him. Job was righteous and obedient and faithful and patient. Equals get a prayer answered. Let's continue, brothers and sisters. Are you following me? Okay, are you following me? Give me something down there below. Just let me know you following me, right? Okay, so now we're going to go to Samuel, 1 Samuel. Okay, we're going to go to 1 Samuel. We're going to go to the first chapter, okay, of Shemuel, Aleph. 1 Samuel, Shemuel, Aleph. And we're going to go to the first chapter, and we're going to start at verse 1, chapter 1, verse 1, right? I'm going to get 18 verses here. Let's look at it like this. And there was a certain man of Ramathaim, Shophim, the mountains of Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, son of Jeroham, son of Elihu, son of Tohu, son of Suph, and Ephraimite, right? And he had two wives. The name of one was Hannah, and the name of the other was Peninnah. And Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children. Now, this man went up from his city year by year to worship and to slaughter to Yah of hosts in Shiloh. And the two sons of Eli, and Ophni and Phinehas, the priests of Yah, were there. And when the day came for Elkanah to make a slaughtering, he gave portions to Peninnah, his wife, and to all her sons and daughters. But although he loved Hannah, he gave only one portion to Hannah because Yah had shut up her womb. Moreover, her rival also provoked her greatly to make her irritable because Yah had shut up her womb. And so he did year by year. Whenever she went up to the house of Yah, she was provoked, so that she wept and did not eat. And her husband, Elkanah, said to her, Hannah, why do you weep? Why do you not eat? And why is your heart sad? Am I not better than 10 sons? And Hannah rose up after eating and drinking in Shiloh, while Eli the priest was sitting on the seat by the doorpost of the Hakhel of Yah. And she was bitter in life and prayed to Yah and wept greatly. And she made a vow and said, O Yah of hosts, if you would indeed look on the affliction of your female servant and remember me, and not forget your female servant, but shall give your female servant a male child, then I shall give him to Yah all the days of his life, and let no razor come upon his head. And it came to be, as she kept on praying before Yah, that Eli was watching her mouth. And Hannah spoke in her heart, only her lips moved, but her voice was not heard. So Eli thought she was drunk. Then Eli said to her, how long are you going to be drunk? Put your wine away from you. And Hannah answered and said, no, my master. I am a woman pained in spirit, and I have drunk neither wine nor strong drink, but have poured out my being before Yah. Do not take your female servant for a daughter of Belial, for it is out of my great concern and provocation that I have spoken until now. And Eli answered and said, go in peace, and the Elohim of Israel give you your petition, which you have asked of him. And she said, let your female servant find favor in your eyes. And the woman went away and ate, and her face was no more sad. Prayer, petitioning God, doing it in faith. And then her attitude switched as if it's already granted. And we know it was granted. Backed up by her husband to help push the prayer through. Are we starting to get a clue? Are we starting to kind of get an idea? Are we starting to get the picture of what is possible? What's possible? What we can do if our heart is aright. I just wanted to read that straight through just so you can see what's possible. What's there for you and I. Ladies, be righteous, pray without ceasing. Earnest. She wouldn't even eat for a while. It was a fast, right? Pray, fast. She felt bad, felt sad. She was getting a prayer through, stay faithful. And all of a sudden she goes there this time. Now she's praying. Now it's not audible. See the mouth moving. It's not audible. Husband kind of mistaked it a little bit. Or Eli kind of mistaked it a little bit. So a guy, priest, got it pushed through. Husbands can do the same thing. Right? You get with a righteous person to kind of help you get that prayer, kind of stamp that prayer, We just read in Job, you get a righteous person to help push it, help get it through. I'm just kind of give you some tips. Because is anyone getting anything out of this? Is anyone catching a couple of things that maybe they didn't see before? Down below. Respond down below. Are we catching any little tidbits that you're like, you know what? I might want to incorporate that. You know what? I didn't see that before. Okay? Let me know, guys. While you do that, let's go on over to the book of Acts real quick. Okay? Let's go to the book of Acts. Go to Acts, we're going to go to I'm going to go to chapter 10. Chapter 10. And when we get there, we're going to go to first 6 verses. Chapter 10 and the first 6 verses. It says, now there was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a captain of what was called the Italian regiment, dedicated and fearing Elohim with all his household, doing many kind deeds to the people and praying to Elohim always. He clearly saw in a vision about the 9th hour of the day a messenger of Elohim coming to him and saying to him, Cornelius. And looking intently at him and becoming afraid, he said, what is it, master? And he said to him, your prayers and your kind deeds have come up for remembrance before Elohim. And now send you to Yapho and send for Shimon, who is also called Kepha. He is stained with Shimon, a leather tanner, whose house is by the sea. Now look at what's going on here. He went ahead and he says, okay, I'm not gonna deal with you directly, but I'm gonna send you, okay? I'm gonna have you send for someone I do deal with directly. Salvation is of the Jews. You see, this is what's going on, brothers and sisters. You need to get this prayer through. It can go through you. You happen to be Yahudim, or you need to get it through Yahudim. Get in right standing. Get in right standing. We're going to go all the way to the beginning. Let's go to the Bereshit 18, or Genesis 18, Bereshit 18. And I'm going to start at 20. I'm going to start at 20. Okay, start at 20 and finish it at 20. It says, and Yah said, because the outcry against Sodom and Amorah is great, and because their sin is very heavy, I'm going down now to see whether they have done altogether according to the outcry against it that has come to me. And if not, I know. So the men turned away from there, went towards Sodom, but Yah still stood before Abraham. And Abraham drew near and said, would you also destroy the righteous with the wrong? Suppose there are 50 righteous within the city. Would you also destroy the place and not spare it for the 50 righteous that were in it? Far be it from you to act in this way, to slay the righteous with the wrong, so that the righteous should be as the wrong. Far be it from you. Does the judge of all the earth not do right? And Yah said, if I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I shall spare all the place for their sakes. And Abraham answered and said, look, please, I who am but dust and ashes have taken it upon myself to speak to Yah. Suppose there are 5 less than the 50 righteous. Would you destroy all the city for lack of 5? And he said, and if I find there 45, I do not destroy it. And he spoke to him yet again and said, suppose there are found 40. And he said, I would not do it for the sake of the 40. And he said, let not Yah be displeased, and let me speak. Suppose there are found 30. And he said, I would not do it if I find 30 there. And he said, look, please, I have taken it upon myself to speak to Yah. Suppose there are found 20. And he said, I would not destroy it for the sake of 20. And he said, let not Yah be displeased, and let me speak only this time. Suppose there are found 10. And he said, I would not destroy it for the sake of 10. Then Yah went away as soon as he had ended speaking to Abraham, and Abraham returned to his place. Is there any wonder why we call this guy Father Abraham? Is there any wonder? This guy is praying for the righteous. And he threw up, 50. Kind of a low number, 50 in the city. It's kind of a low number, but he knew, okay, what if we fall a little short? And did he not sound like a little one when he was like, okay, okay, well, what about 40? What about 30? What about 20? Right? It sounds a little bit like one of your little ones would bargain to stay up later. Oh, can I stay up another hour? No, time to go to bed. Okay. For 20 more minutes? No, can't do that. Time to go to bed. For 10 more minutes? No, gotta go to bed. 5 more minutes? No, it's time to go to bed. 1 more minutes? Just bargaining down. And the Father, the Most High, the Ancient of Days, he said, sure. He said, yeah. 550, it's cool. 40, okay, cool. I won't destroy him. 30, 20. But Abraham, being righteous, can get a prayer through. This, brothers and sisters, is the power of prayer. It can save a life. It can bless. It can guide. This is the power. This is the power of prayer. This is what I don't want you or I to miss out on. I don't want us to miss this. I want us to think back and reflect and consider these things. I want us to consider this. Let's continue. All right, so from here, we're going to go on over to Deuteronomy, okay? I'm going to go ahead and start winding down, right? We're going to get a little bit more, and we're going to start winding down. So, Deuteronomy chapter 9. Okay, and when we get there, we're going to start at 12. Okay, 9, we're going to start at 12. All right, 12 through 20. 12 says, Then Yah said to me, Arise and go down quickly from there. For your people whom you brought out of Mitzrayim have acted corruptly, and they have quickly turned aside from the way which I command them, and they made themselves a molded image. And Yah spoke to me, saying, I have seen this people, and look, they are a stiff-necked people. Leave me alone so that I destroy them and blot out their name from under the heavens and make of you a nation stronger and greater than they. So I turned and came down from the mountain, and the mountain burned with fire, and the 2 tablets of the covenant were in my hands. And I looked and saw that you had sinned against Yah your Elohim and had made yourselves a molten calf, and you have quickly turned aside from the way which Yah had commanded you. Okay, so we're looking at all this, right? And I took the 2 tablets and threw them out of my 2 hands and broke them before your eyes. And I fell down before Yah as at the first 40 days and 40 nights. And I did not eat bread and I did not drink water, because of all your sins which you committed in doing evil in the eyes of Yah to provoke him. For I was afraid of the displeasure and rage with which Yah was wroth with you to destroy you. But Yah listened to me that time once more. You guys catch that? Listen to Moses. He can get a prayer through, right? A petition, a conversation, right? And Yah was very enraged with Aharon to destroy him. So I prayed for Aharon at that time also. You see how important righteousness, obedience, all of these things are important so that you can get your prayers answered? Are we getting it? 23 to 27. And when Yah sent you from Kodesh Barnea, saying, Go up and possess the land which I have given you, then you rebelled against the mouth of Yah your Elohim, and you neither trusted him nor listened to his voice. You have been rebellious against Yah from the day that I knew you. So I fell down before Yah the 40 days and 40 nights. For I fell down before Yah had said he would destroy you. Said he would destroy you. And I prayed to Yah and said, O Master Yah, do not destroy your people and your inheritance, whom you have ransomed in your greatness, whom you have brought out of Mitzrayim with a strong hand. Remember your servants, Abraham, Yitzchak, and Jacob. Do not look on the stubbornness of this people, or on their wrong, or on their sin. That's the prayer of Moses. He's praying to God. He's trying to get us spared. And it worked. We're still here, trying to get us from being utterly destroyed. And we're here. Let's go ahead and continue. Let's go on over to Daniel 9. We're going to go over to Daniel 9. Chapter 9, and when we get there, we're going to start at verse 2. Starting at 2, and we'll jump around a little bit. Verse 2 says this. In the first year of his reign, I, Daniel, observed from the scriptures the number of the years according to the word of Yah given to Jeremiah the prophet, for the completion of the waste of Jerusalem would be 70 years. So I set my face towards Yah, the Elohim, to seek by prayer and supplication with fasting and sackcloth and ashes. Okay, wanted to point that out to you guys. And I prayed to Yah, my Elohim, and made confession and said, O Yah, great and awesome El, guarding the covenant and the loving commitment to those who love him and to those who guard his commandments. We have sinned and did crookedness and did wrong and rebelled to turn aside from your commandments and from your right rulings. And we have not listened to your servants, the prophets, who spoke in your name to our sovereigns, our heads, and our fathers, to be all the people of the land. I'm going to drop down to 13 through 15. As it is written in the Torah of Moshe, all this evil has come upon us, and we have not entreated the face of Yah, our Elohim, to turn back from our crookedness and to study your truth. Hence, Yah has watched over the evil and has brought it upon us. For Yah, our Elohim, is righteous in all the works which he has done, but we have not obeyed his voice. And now, O Yah, our Elohim, who brought your people out of the land of Mitzrayim with a strong hand and made yourself a name as it is this day. We have sinned, we have done wrong. Okay, going to 16. Oh yeah, according to all your righteousness, I pray, and let your displeasure and your wrath be turned away from your city, Jerusalem, your set apart mountain. For because of our sins and because of the crookedness of our fathers, Jerusalem, and your people have become a reproach to all those around. And now, our Elohim, hear the prayer of your servant and his supplications, and for the sake of Yah, cause your face to shine on your set-apart place, which is laid waste. O my Elohim, incline your ear and hear, and open your eyes and see your ways in the city which is called by your name. For we do not present our supplications before you because of our righteous deeds, but because of your great compassion. O Yah, hear. O Yah, forgive. O Yah, listen and act. Do not delay for your own sake, my Elohim, for your city and your people are called by your name. And while I was speaking and praying and confessing my sin, the sin of my people Israel, and presenting my supplication before Yah, my Elohim, for the set apart mountain of my Elohim. While I was still speaking in prayer, the man Gabriel, whom I had seen in the vision at the beginning, came close to me in swift flight about the time of the evening offering. And he made me understand and talk with me and said, O Daniel, I have now come forth to make you wise concerning understanding. And at the beginning of your supplication, a word went out, and I have come to make it known, for you are greatly appreciated. So consider the word and understand the vision. Because was Daniel righteous? Obviously, he can get a prayer through, right? Are we getting an understanding. We can see some of the prophets. We can see some of the great men of the Bible getting prayers answered. Getting prayers answered. Is this not what we want? Is this not what we need? Brothers and sisters, I'm gonna leave some more scriptures for you guys. Check the description box down below. Give you some more examples. I'm gonna give you some more. I got some of that. I got some parts in Luke. Got some in Matthew. Just look at the scripture box below. This is your homework. Gentlemen, men, lead your families or finish it off. Read these scriptures that I'm gonna leave. Just right there in the description box down below. Okay. I'll say it here, but then it should be in the description box as well. 1 Kings 8, 22 to 61. Read all that. Okay. 1 Kings 9, 1 through 3. Read that. Luke 22, chapter 22, 39 through 46. And finally, finish it off with Matthew chapter 6, 5 through 15. I want you guys to continue. I'm giving you a little something more. And as we close out this particular lesson, I want to give you a little bit more so you can say, you know what? Let me go ahead and read this. And let's share this with the family. Let's discuss it with the family. Discuss it with your wife. Discuss it with the children. Discuss it with the assembly. Discuss it. Let's discuss it. We're family here. Let's discuss it. So here's the thing. Did we get a little something, like a few little tidbits? Did we learn a little something? Or we kind of get an idea where we may have, missed a little bit? So we can get some prayers answered? Brothers and sisters, I pray for you and your family. I pray a blessing over you and your household. I bless peace in your life. I pray that the Most High hears your prayers. And as far as this lesson is concerned, I hope someone has been edified. So until next time, search the scriptures and prove all things. Shalom, Israel. I'll see you guys on the next lesson.